Alright everyone, let's break down this trade and walk you through the logic behind the entry. Now, as I always say, the goal with these videos is to not just show you what happened, but to actually help you understand the technique behind each setup so you can start spotting and executing similar trades on your own. Keep in mind, guys, that the more you study the why behind the move, the easier it becomes in terms of you building consistency in your own strategy. All right, so the first thing that stood out to me in this particular setup was this double top formation on the 1 hour chart. Now, if we sort of zoom in on the market's upward move here that follows, as you can see, the balancing of this major imbalance zone, we can sort of observe the market starting to climb steadily after finding support near the 18,200 level. At first glance, this 100 point stair-stepping move gives the illusion of the market wanting to retest this previous high and perhaps even go for a breakout here. But in reality, such a move, it's a market-making trap. Why? Well, because when you really think about it, this upward move, which is a clear liquidity grab from imbalance, I should say, to imbalance, seems designed to lure in fresh buyers at higher prices within this range, as FOMO clearly kicks in at this point and chasers do compound, fueling momentum. Now, such a I should say, controlled and engineered move, judging by obviously the demand side's dominance we see here, intensifies even more during this long and boring tight consolidation range near the top. At the same time, though, such a move, I think, pressures the supply sides or shorts to exit prematurely, literally handing over at this stage their shares to stronger hands just before the real move kicks in. Now, why do I say just before the real move kicks in? Well, because if this stair-stepping action were a genuine attempt to retest the previous high and even pull a breakout move, we would expect to see two key indicators, which are rising volume and widening price spreads, which are obviously a classic bullish signs that typically precede a price surge. But here, as you can see, volume has almost dried up and spreads are tightening, which is a clear red flag for a long bias. On the other hand, if you are looking to go short, this setup increases the likelihood that price will react in your favor. So instead of reflecting genuine market strength, this confluence of factors suggested to me that the upside movement is more likely manipulation, as in a setup that signals the market's bias is tilted toward the downside. And it makes sense when you really think about it, because they first meaning market makers, they first drove the price down to shake out buyers, then lifted it back up to trap shorts. That's why once I saw this double top forming, I immediately switched to a 1 minute time frame, searching for an entry point. Obviously, I took my time here, as I always do with my entries, to make sure that I wasn't shorting in the hole. Meaning, I patiently waited for a bit of a squeeze before pulling the trigger. But the moment this red bar closed below the previous one, that's where I placed my short position. Now, as the price, as you can see here, as the price breaks down, it first retraces into these imbalance zones, which I kind of expected, but honestly, I didn't anticipate such a market puke right away. Clearly, demand is completely absent at this stage. Even down here, guys, this lonely green bar forming below the 120 level, even this guy led to a bearish order block, further accelerating the market's sharp decline. I have to admit, though, this wasn't a high quality setup. Rather, it was an entry based on basic technical patterns, which, as we already know, can be hit or miss. But in this specific case, the trade played out very well and ended up being a solid gainer in the end. By the way, guys, if you found this trade breakdown useful, don't miss my next video, where I'll be breaking down similar setups and share proven trading strategies to help you sharpen your game. Alright, gang, thanks for watching, and as always, hope to catch you all in the next one.